Hi everyone, I'm Lesley from the Beck, and today's video I'm going to be showing you 6 ways that you can support students who have difficulties with reading and writing in your classroom. Do you have students in your class who have tendencies of dysgraphia or dyslexia or other disorders that inhibit them from being able to read and write well in the classroom? And do you find that having these learning difficulties means it's very difficult for them to be able to access the learning that you're giving them? Well, I've got 6 really great things to show you today that are all from the laptops and iPads that are going to help those students be able to access the learning that they need to be successful in your classroom. So let's get started. Okay, tip number 1, Immersive Reader. Immersive Reader can be found in all of the Microsoft products. You just have to find the little icon on the screen with the text that you're trying to read. It has a number of different functions that you can do. One of them is that you can change the margin size of the text that you're trying to read. So you can create wide margins or you can create more narrow margins. Another feature it has is that you can change the background color. People with dyslexia often find that it's easier to read text if it's on a yellow background, but there are a number of different color options you can choose from to whatever suits your students. The next function it has is you can change the line spacing. So you can have the words and the sentences themselves set further apart, and you can change it also to put syllables within each of the words as well, which makes it easier for dyslexic children to be able to see the writing. And the last function it has is a read aloud function. So if there is a paragraph that children are really struggling to read, they can highlight it, press the read aloud function, and it will actually read it aloud to them. So they can use this if they're stuck with a particular word or if they're stuck with a whole paragraph, which is preventing them from being able to read instructions or directions or to be able to access a little bit of text that they need for a subject. And if you are using a Windows computer, you have one extra feature, which is being able to actually highlight line by line. So this enables the rest of the text to be blocked out so the students can really focus in on one line at a time. Or if you need, you can change it to 3 lines at a time or even 5 lines at a time. Okay, tip number 2, the dictate function on Microsoft Word. The dictate tool is found on the Microsoft home screen up in the top right-hand corner. So click on that, and then all you need to do is speak your words into your microphone and Word will automatically put it into text for you. Perfect for all those students who really have a problem with anxiety with their writing because of spelling or grammar or handwriting issues. The great thing about the dictate as well is it has a couple of extra settings. So it has a number of different languages that you can use with it, and you also have the ability to turn punctuation on and off. If you turn the punctuation off, you will have to actually say physically where the punctuation goes, which I think is a really great way as well of getting the kids to think about where their punctuation needs to go. Okay, tip number 3 is the dictate and the speak function on the iPads. Okay, every time that your keyboard comes up when you're using your iPad, you will notice that down the bottom there is the little microphone tool, and that's your dictate function. It's really helpful that every time you need to input something with the keyboard, you will always have the dictate option as well, a really great function of the iPads. I'm just showing you using the Notes app. The Notes app is a really great app to use if you don't have access to something like Microsoft Word and you're looking for something where students can use a speech-to-text dictate function. Another really helpful feature of the iPads is the ability to use the speak function. So anytime that you have some writing on the iPad that you can highlight, when you highlight it, it brings up this text box, and then one of the buttons you can see there is speak. So anytime you highlight the writing, you can press speak and the iPad will actually read the words aloud to you. Really helpful for students with reading problems. All right, tip number 4 is Microsoft Lens. Okay, so all the tips I've shown you so far have been really useful for when you already have the text that you want in a digital copy. Now, what about those times in the classrooms where you don't have a digital copy of the text that you want the students to read? Microsoft Lens is your answer. So Microsoft Lens takes a photo of the text and turns it into digital for you. Let me show you how it works. So using the app on either your phone or an iPad, take a photo of the text that you want to turn. Now, you can either do it 2 ways. You can automatically have it turn into text here for you on the screen, and then all you do is you just copy the text and put it into another app already on your iPad, maybe such as Notes would be a nice simple way to do it. Or the other option is you can scan it as a document. So this time when you take the photo, you have the option to then be able to export it into another program such as Microsoft Word. Then once it's in Microsoft Word, your students have the ability to be able to open Immersive Reader, use the tools in there to be able to help them to read it, or use the read aloud function to have it read to them. And tip number 5 is Flipgrid. So Flipgrid is a program that you can use for students to be able to complete oral presentations, participate in group discussions without having to have any text or anything that may complicate things for them. So one of the great things about Flipgrid is that the instructions that you have given the kids for the tasks, they are able to access those instructions using the Immersive Reader tools. So they're able to change the background, the font, the text size, whatever they need. One of the other great functions is that you're also able to record your instructions for the students. So again, eliminates any text issues that they might have. And then the idea of Flipgrid is that students can post video answers to either questions or projects or whatever it is that they need. And when they post their video answers, they're able to use all these really great functions that you would find on like a Snapchat or an Instagram that the kids can engage with because it's something that they're used to. But because this is a Microsoft education product, it's a safe platform. And it has a lot of options for them to choose. I'll show you my favorite one, is this one. I love this option for students who get a little bit shy about showing their face in oral presentations, and it enables them to be able to share information with you, answer questions, participate in group projects in a way that is not overwhelming for them and in a way that doesn't make them anxious. So the great thing about using Flipgrid in your class is that you are able to set up digital groups within your Flipgrid team, and that way the kids are able to collaborate digitally on a presentation, and then they can share it to the class also digitally. And that eliminates those kids who have trouble reading off note cards or reading off the board when they are doing oral presentations. And the great thing also is that other students are able to go into the videos and then comment on them and leave them feedback. So you could change your oral presentations in your classroom to be able to do it all digitally rather than having students standing up in front of the class, which eliminates not only the anxiety for the children, but also cuts down on your work and also the time that it takes for you to be able to do all the oral presentations in your class. Love Flipgrid. And my last tip for you is the amazing and incredible new Reading Progress. This is part of Microsoft Teams. So if you want to be using this one with your class, you need to have them all set up on Microsoft Teams. Let me show you. Okay, so as a teacher, you set a new Reading Progress assignment in the Microsoft Teams assignment section. And what you do is you assign them a piece of text for them to read. The students are then able to read the instructions using the Immersive Reader tools, as always in a Microsoft product. Then they go into the assignment and it gives them the option of being able to record themselves reading a piece of text. Then once the text is in front of them, they have the option to use the Immersive Reader tools again, where they are able to change the text font size, the font type, the background color, the spacing, whatever they need to be able to access the text appropriately. And then they have a go recording themselves reading all the words on the page. Now this is the best part. Once they have submitted their recording back to you, it comes to you like this. You get a video recording of the student reading along with the audio, and then you get this report that has the text that the student has read all color-coded depending on how they went. So it shows all the words that they mispronounced, the words that they omitted, the maybe extra words they put in, or any words that they were able to correct themselves. And it gives it all to you here in a quick snapshot. And then what you're able to do is you're able to take this information and you're able to send it back to the student as a report, and they're able to actually read it and get some feedback from you. And the great thing about this software, as you can see over on the right here, you are actually able to send them feedback in video form. So again, catering to those students who do have trouble with their reading. So Reading Progress is just awesome for those students who are really shy to read in class, who you have trouble getting to read to you or reading to an SSO. This is something that then they can do in their own time, perhaps at home or just in a quiet area of the classroom or an office. And then it eliminates the anxiety that they have perhaps if they're not good readers or if they just have really low reading levels. And the other awesome thing about this is that if you have a lot of students submitting their reading to you online, it really cuts down on the reading conference time that you have to do in the classroom. And hey, we all love to save time in the classroom. And that brings us to the end of today's video. So those were my 6 tips to be helping students with dyslexia and dysgraphia in your classroom. I really hope they helped you. If you've been using some of these with your kids and getting great results, then please leave me a comment down below so that I can help you share your success. If you liked the video, please give me a thumbs up in the box. Please subscribe and share with all your teacher friends. Enjoy the rest of your day, and thanks for watching.